Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Eddie Kendricks, a genuine symbol whose heritage keeps on rousing in the domain of American music, resounds profoundly. His inheritance, established by his total assets of $5 million at the hour of his passing in October 1992, rises above simple money-related esteem. Kendrick's process started when he helped establish the amazing Motown bunch, the Allurements from 1960 to 1971. He graced the world with his celestial falsetto as one of their drove entertainers. His voice turned into the spirit of hits, like the manner in which you do the things you really do, getting prepared, and simply my creative mind taking off with me. These tunes, woven with his vocal ability, became songs of praise for a period, drawing his name into the records of music history. Yet Kendrick's performance vocation was shown similarly, as splendidly during the 1970s he set out on a performance excursion, creating hits that reverberated with crowds around the world. Tracks like Fight the Good Fight and Boogie Down Blade to the highest-rated spot, asserting the sought-after #1 spot with each note. Kendrick's proceeded to dazzle audience members with his voice as a reference point for beat and soul in a changing melodic scene through his music. Kendrick's turned out to be in excess of a vocalist. He turned into an image of persistence and energy. His melodies repeated the ups and downs of life, each verse conveying a piece of his spirit. However, he might have left this world with his tunes, weight on ageless tokens of an unrivaled ability and a heritage. Never ending in the embroidery of American music, Eddie Kendricks will perpetually hold a position of high standing and respect. Eddie Kendricks brought into the world to Johnny and Lee Ringer Kendrick in Association Springs, Alabama on December 17, 1939. He was raised close by his more established sister Patricia and three more established siblings, Charles, Robert, and Clarence. Their family moved to the Ensley area of Birmingham, where the seeds of Kendrick's melodic energy started to grow. It was in the last part of the 1940s that Kendrick's viewed as his melodic perfect partner and dear companion, Paul Williams. Their concordance-filled voices saw as a home in their congregation ensemble, where they sharpened their specialty and shared their affection for melody. Their common dream came to fruition in 1955, when Kendrick's Williams, alongside companions Kel Osborne and Jerome Yvette, framed the Cavaliers, a doo-wop bunch that would turn into the groundwork of their melodic yearnings as the Cavaliers. As they graced stages around Birmingham, their harmonies reverberating through the city roads. However, the bait of more noteworthy Amazing Open Doors coaxed, and in 1957, the bunch put their focus on Cleveland, Ohio, where they expected to cut away to melodic fame settled on E123 Red Road in Brother Street. They experienced Chief Milton Jenkins, whose direction would shape their predetermination. Under Jenkins' tutelage, the Cavaliers changed into the Primes, making progress in the lively music scene of Detroit. It was here that they encountered history, assuming a crucial part in the making of the Amazing Supremes. Then, at that point, referred to as the Primates, as the Primes flourished. Kendrick's process took another turn in 1961, when Osborne's flight prompted the gathering disbanding. Yet from the remains of the Primes rose a phoenix of ability and strength. Kendricks and Paul Williams were close by Elbridge, Al Bryant, Otis Williams, and Melvin Blue Franklin from Otis Williams and the Distance produced another way. They turned into the LNs. Furthermore, Nam before long shed for the IC title of the Enticements with a stroke of destiny. What's more, a mark on a Moan agreement. Kendrick ventured into the spotlight, everlastingly carving his name into the archives of music history. The Allurements, inseparable from smooth harmonies and zapping exhibitions, arose as a force to be reckoned with in the music scene of the 1960s. At first, they tracked down their balance, appearing to be back up for Mary Wells. However, it didn't take long for them to take the spotlight. With their profound tunes and attractive stage presence, they rapidly rose and finished to turn into the most effective teeny bopper group of the period. At the heart of the enticement appeal was Eddie Kendricks, a man whose voice took off to heavenly levels, while in fact the first tenor in the gathering. Kendrick's falsetto reach turned into his mark, meshing sorcery into each note. He said his lead vocals decorated hits like Dream Workout and the manner in which you do the things you do, moving the impulses to the more elite classes of the music graphs. Yet Kendrick's commitments to the gathering stretched out Past his vocal ability, he was the genius behind a significant number of their vocal plans, forming the sound that dazzled crowds around the world. Further, Kendrick assumed responsibility for the gathering's closet, making their notorious purple suits that became inseparable from Allurements style anyway. As the 1970s unfolded, Kendrick found himself in conflict with the advancing melodic course initiated by lyricist Norman Whitfield. The flight of his dear companion, Paul Williams, because of disease further stressed relations inside the gathering, prompting conflicts with bandmates. At last, Kendrick pursued the hard decision to head out in different directions with the Enticements. Following a last fight during a presentation at the Copacabana Dance Club, he bid goodbye to the social environment and his sights on a performance vocation. In spite of his up-and-coming takeoff, Kendrick added one last enticement hit with Only My Creative Mind. Taking off with me in 1971, as Kendrick left on his performance venture marking with Motown's Tama division, he confronted another arrangement of challenges while his ability proceeded to sparkle. His relationship with Motown experienced obstacles reflecting the obstructions he looked inside the Enticements. Eddie Kendrick's performance vocation set out on a sluggish beginning with 2 years of singles, scarcely scratching the best 40 graphs, while his previous gathering, The Enticements, made a flood of progress with hits made by Norman Whitfield in an amusing turn. One of these hits was Recall How You Got Where You Are filled in as an unobtrusive punch at Kendrick's and his kindred left allurement David Ruffin anyway. Kendrick's fortunes took a turn when his 1972 collection Individuals Hold On recorded with his sponsorship band The Youthful Congresspersons turned into a sensation in the sprouting disco scene of downtown New York. The collection's champion track, the 8-moment Incredible Young Lady, You Really Want a Difference as a main priority found favor at David Mancuso's space setting Kendrick's status as a disco symbol. This track later got a cutting-edge makeover by R&B craftsman D'Angelo. For the soundtrack of the film Get on the Transport in 1973, Kendrick took off to the highest point of the diagrams with the straightforward Wilson-created fight, The Good Fight, leaving a mark on the world as the solitary individual from The Enticements to accomplish a performance #1 hit. In the US, the achievement didn't stop their hits like Boogie Down Child of Sagittarius, Show Sparkle Kid, and He's a Companion established Kendrick's status as an independent sensation all through the mid-1970s. One of Kendrick's champion tracks, Private Companions 1977, saw a new life through examining the tunes by Alicia Keys, Normal, and Erykah Badu, displaying the getting-through impact of Kendrick's music. Across the ages, in spite of his solo victories, Kendrick developed frustrated with Motown's inventive requirements and monetary constraints, provoking his takeoff in 1978. His ensuing move to Arista Records and afterward Atlantic Records stamped, however, a change in his vocation direction. His well-known identity disappeared in the midst of individual battles, and the cost of steady smoking, which impacted his once taking off falsetto in 1982. Kendrick and Ruffin rejoined with the Enticements for a profoundly acclaimed visit and recording, reinvigorating the famous gathering. The threesome's science was unmistakable, collecting accomplishments with hits like Remaining on Top delivered by Rick James. Their get-together visit with the Allurements in 1985 prompted joint efforts with Lobby and Oates coming full circle in a Grammy-nominated album named Destructive of Allurements. Works of art, the team's impact on Lobby and Oates was significant, forming their melodic excursion and procuring them appreciation as amazing figures in the business in 1989. Kendrick's Ruffin and their Enticements partners got a definitive distinction with Acceptance into the Wild. Corridor of notoriety plans for a triplet visit with Dennis Edwards were unfortunately stopped by Kendrick's cellular breakdown in the lungs analysis and Ruffin's inopportune demise from a medication go too far in 1991. Notwithstanding confronting his own well-being fights, Kendrick pushed on, proceeding to visit until the late spring of 1992, later going through a medical procedure, his getting through heritage as a spearheading voice in music both as a solo craftsman and with the Allurements stays carved in the archives of melodic history. Eddie Kendrick was in addition to a melodic virtuoso, yet additionally a guide of generosity, committing his time and assets to different beneficent causes of charity. Among his humanitarian undertakings, he played an essential job in supporting organ associations like the American Establishment for Helps Research, AAR, the Red Cross, UNICEF, and Kids in Need. One of Kendrick's outstanding commitments was to AAR, an association focused on propelling guides research, anticipation treatment training, and promotion. He loaned his help to the yearly Film Against Help's occasion, a head-raising money occasion for AAR since 1993. Throughout the long term, this occasion has accumulated critical assets surpassing $22 million for crucial guides research. Kendrick's hobnobbed with stars like Lady Elizabeth Taylor, Sharon Stone, Demi Moore, and Sir Elton John at these occasions, seeing offhand exhibitions by illuminators like Sir Elton John, Robin Williams, Natalie Cole, and Liza Minnelli. The 2006 celebration, including a live closeout driven by Harvey Weinstein and Sharon Stone, raised a faltering $2 million, adding to the occasion's absolute gathering pledges of $4 million. Kendrick's additionally broadened his backing to the Red Cross, an association prestigious for giving guides to survivors of catastrophic events and crises overall through his contribution. Kendrick's assumed a part in defending the lives and nobility of those impacted by war, viciousness, and philanthropic emergencies while advancing philanthropic standards. Thanks for watching this video.